I was thinking about consomme. We're making consomme in lab, and oftentimes today we hear things like, well, no one makes consomme anymore, or, you know, why do I need to learn this right now? And so, you know, I got to thinking, it's like, well, it's a fundamental. It's one of those foundation skills that we really want you to learn. So I thought, well, why don't I show you a way how you can take that consomme and put it into what you might consider today's molecular gastronomy. And so we took some consomme from one of the other classes, and what we did is we prepared this consomme with a little bit of xanthan gum. Just like the video showed you, it needs to have the same thickness as cream. And so to get to that point, we added a little bit of the xanthan gum, so it gave it a little bit of the viscosity. Okay. And the other thing that's important is that when you add the xanthan gum, you're going to put it in the blender just like they did with the calcium lactate. And when you put it in the blender, it's going to create all this air, a lot of air. In fact, the color of this that we did on Tuesday was very dark. There's so much air into it. But what you can do to alleviate that air is put it into a pan and put it in the vacuum sealer. And you allow the pressure to build up in the pan, then you shut it off before it overflows. And then you start it over again and let it drop down. And you do this several times, and what happens is that air gets forced out of the consomme or whatever liquid you're trying to do that with. Or let it sit overnight, up to 24 hours, and that will also get those air bubbles out. Okay? You really want to get those out because you want it to be, you know, the clarity is what you're going after. So we did that with this, and we added our xanthan gum until we got to what we consider to be the right thickness. Okay, and then this liquid here, because the recipe called for calcium lactate gluconate, we didn't have that, but we had calcium chloride, which we've used to do purification for other things here, so we knew it would work. Okay, and we used the same amount. We added 5 grams to the 1,000, sodium alginate. 5 grams to the 1,000 grams of distilled water, and then we had about a quart of consomme here that we added 5 grams to that as well. And what happens, just like it says in the video, that forms that cell wall around that consomme when it hits the sodium alginate, and therefore it forms into these little spheres. So to show you, what we're going to do is we're just going to take a small amount here on our tablespoon. We're going to drop it into our sodium alginate, just like so. And then we're going to take our spoon and mix it around. Okay? And what's happening here while we're doing this is it's forming that cell wall. Okay? So it's not going to separate. It's a membrane. And again, this was just a clarified consomme that one of the other classes made. Okay? And as the video showed us, you can do this with other things. This particular one works well with alcohol and things like that too. So, I don't know, it's something you might want to just file in the back of your memory. Okay, so now we've got it, that wall formed very carefully. Pull it out of there. And this is just straight cold water. Okay, just to rinse it off. That's all we want to do. Okay, so then carefully let it drain. And then slide it into the spoon, like so. And we're going to move this out of the way. And what we did is we took one of our pieces of halibut today and poached it in a quart bouillon. And we have some of our microgreens here. vinaigrette. Oh, we're just playing with our microgreens stuff.
Playing.
Okay, so then we take our greens, set them on in our bowl. And you notice how the microgreens still have, you know, they're standing up and they're, you know, not wet. Okay, that's important because it doesn't take long. We have our halibut. Even take a little bit of our vinaigrette here. And I have some lemon supremes. And we could serve it with one of our spherificated consommes. Okay? So, we'll give it a try, and you let me know what you think. Okay?
So is this, what is this, a starch? What is that?
This is the consomme. It's just an extra one. Oh, you mean as far as like starch, veg?
Right,
on
right.
the
What
plate?
is it?
No, it's sauce.
It's just a sauce.
Right, like this would be almost like a chilled halibut salad.
Okay.
Okay. And so this would be like your sauce to enhance the flavor of the fish. So what we would do is we would actually then take this and go right over the top of the fish.
Okay.
Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. And let it break.
Okay.
So what would be the actual benefit of doing it that way? Just presentation.
What the heck was that ingredient? What was that ingredient that was in there?
I'm sorry?
The ingredient that was in the...
Looking at
We use xanthan gum in
not
here.
that one. No.
And this one here is sodium alginate. Okay, and with the xanthan gum in here, we also use calcium chloride. Okay, we have 2 ingredients in this one. Okay,
You say you substituted this.
right, because we didn't have any calcium lactate gluconate around, so we substituted with calcium chloride.
So it's
Because,
basically the same?
well, I don't know about that, but it works the same for us.
Okay.
Okay.
So what is